If you play games, you doom your relationship. If you're deliberately being hot and cold, you're posting stories on Instagram when you know you've not responded to their texts, you're withdrawing attention because they did something you didn't quite like and now you want them to come chase you. Or even if you lie about where you're going, just in an attempt to have this like boys weekend away, so I'm just gonna lie and it'll be fine, when they inevitably always find out. All you do is destroy the foundations of any connection you can have between you. And oftentimes, these games that we play, they're what's propagated in the dating space. They tell us to do these tricks to be able to push, pull, and be more engaged. And all it does is kind of work in the short term, but destroy your relationship in the long term. And that's the first point I want to dive into, and the reason why it is so destructive to play games. Because a lot of the time, we feel like we got away with it in the short term. Maybe we did get the reaction we wanted. Maybe we did get them to come chase us because we withdrew, and we actually felt quite nice about that. It's like, oh yeah, look at this, I've got their attention back. I'm the fucking master here. I know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna be cool, aloof, treat them mean, keep them keen. And like, sure, okay, if you wanna set that as the foundation of your relationship, that anytime that there is a bit of conflict, that you know your technique is, I'm gonna withdraw and make them chase me. That's the issue here. It isn't just the first occurrence. It's like, yeah, you might have won that battle, but you've now lost the war because you're now dating someone that feels dramatically insecure that you're just going to withdraw at any time, and they'll take that out on you. You still have to date this person after you go through that interaction of making them have to suffer through you playing games with them. And this leads me to my second point. Whatever you signal in a relationship, you encourage. So if I'm going to start playing games with a girl of just being a bit aloof and not really texting and doing whatever I want and trying to play these manipulative games to get her interested, what do we think she's going to do back to us? We're going to encourage her to do that because that's what she believes this relationship is. That's how you show affection. That's how you build connection. So you're both going to be doing the standard modern day thing of being protective of your own self and playing games and not really being emotionally available and vulnerable in it, because you can see that, oh shit, if I turn up as myself in this relationship, they're playing games over there, I'm going to get wiped out. So we both end up simultaneously just playing games alongside each other in a pseudo relationship rather than being actually together. And what we also do is signal the type of person that we're compatible with. If in the early stages of dating that you are starting to do these like ploys and games, well, every single act we do and every part of our appearance is a signal, like a lighthouse, and we attract in the same as us. If you want to be some guy that wants to flash his cash around, be the guy with the Rolex watch and do all of the buying a bottle stuff, you attract a girl that's attracted to that, a girl that probably is more interested in material stuff, and you signal that in. So whenever we choose to play games, we end up selecting for game-playing girls, and that's why people think, oh, it's successful and what you have to do, that they want that thrill, they want the elation of the highs when you finally text them and stuff, and it's like, no, you just started playing games, so you attracted the type of girl that is insecure enough to want that thrill all the time rather than having a stable, trusting relationship. So it's like a improper selection bias for it, when instead what I encourage my clients to do, and what I do with my own relationships myself, is encourage getting rid of all of that. And when I'm open, honest, direct about what I want, funnily enough, I find girls who are open, honest, and direct about what I want. Like, often we have this idea that opposites attract, but in a lot of senses, we pull in people that are like us. We end up enjoying the company and being attracted to people who are similar. So what we put out, we get back in. And then my final third point is maybe you're in a relationship and there is a little bit of this going on of maybe you're not quite telling her where you're going out and things because it's fine, I'm out with the boys, I'm doing all these things that I want to do and whatever, like she gets irate about it, but I think she likes the thrill of it. Well, we're still training ourselves for our future relationships. So even if you think it's not that bad because, oh, well, maybe I'm not going to be with this girl forever, well, you're still training how you're going to behave, because the next time when you think you get into another relationship and everything's going to be all rosy, it's like, no, you're just going to default to what you did last time as soon as there is that like element of conflict. You're just going to default to your withdrawal tendencies and your game playing because that's what you know. So it's dangerous to think that you can get away with it now because you're going to have another relationship style in the future. It's real unlikely. What is likely is that you will repeat this behavior again and again. And all this does is destroy the trust, because you will never feel that sense. Like if you get away with it once, you manage to get away with that weekend trip with the boys, you got away, and then it was like, oh, wow, I'm really happy I did that. 2 months later, it comes out and it blows up. Well, you've now eroded any believability to anything you say, and that's bad enough, but from a purely selfish perspective, if my girl doesn't trust me, that then means, what's she going to do? She's going to pester me when I'm going places because my word doesn't mean anything. Like if I go somewhere and I say I'm just going for a night out here with the boys, if she doesn't trust me, then what's she going to be doing? It's like, oh, are there girls there? What are you doing? She's texting and checking in. Are you home yet? Have you drank too much? And all that comes from you playing the games initially to make her feel like she needs to be this insecure. I fundamentally do not lie to girls because it makes my life so much fucking easier, because then when I tell them stuff, they believe me and I don't have to deal with having to convince her what I'm saying is true. They just believe me, which makes everything so much easier. So don't get caught up in this trap of thinking that you need to play these manipulative games that aren't really true, because all you'll do is invite manipulative girls into your life. And just because you tell the truth, that doesn't mean that it has to be dull. It has to be such an unfun relationship that it's drab. It's like, I have a video which I love, which is all about teasing, which I think is an essential skill to be able to learn, to be able to be playful. And yeah, that means that you can be playful in how you interact together, and you can tease her and you can build those emotional spikes, but you still do it in a trusting manner. So if you want to see how you can have a relationship that is not only built on a bedrock of certainty and not games, but also still have that playful element, check out this video here where I break down how you can get girls addicted to you by how charismatic you can be through teasing.